Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are still going to be continuing our weekly analysis on some currency pairs. Gold, we are going to look at BTC, GU, maybe Euro, US dollar, right? So basically last week this was our forecast, right? We are forecasting that price was going to continue dropping like this after we did a top-down analysis, right? And now remember, in our top-down analysis we simply go to the weekly time frame. If you have been following up videos in this channel, you should know, right? And from our weekly time frame we just look at our key zones. Like from our weekly time frame, this is our key zone here when price has been rejecting a couple of times, right? And if you can see here, price has not been able to break through this zone since September 25th, right? In fact, since May 22, price has not broken through this zone, and this is a weekly zone, guys. And if you look at it very well, you're going to see that price, this is market structure, price getting lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And now we have the next possibility. So now from identifying this, we are simply going to further to smaller time frame, right? We are not entering based on the bigger time frame, but this analysis will help us. So if you go now further to a smaller time frame, basically what you're going to be seeing is price is actually probably creating a lower lows, right? Price is probably creating or a series of something that will show us where to be entering. Now this is the reaction, this is the daily time frame order block here. Price has rejected here, price has created a pattern which is a hit and a shoulders pattern. You can see a hit and two shoulders, which is a sign of a reversal pattern on the daily, right? So from this zone here, price actually book structure here. So in the daily, price book structure, as you can see, created this low here. In fact, this was a change of character because this was the previous low that led to this high here, and price finally came back, broke through, changed character, and now this is the other block here. Now swing traders will probably be looking for short setups here and here, right? So here this is a setup here, and this is also another setup here. Price is respecting the first order block here, which could possibly move, right? But now we are not looking at this in the bigger time frame. We are going to smaller time frame to look at where to be entering. Now if you look at smaller time frame here, you are going to see that what price actually consolidated here. So we had the bigger hands that were being that have been taken out here. Most weak hands have been taken out here on these first zones here, and price got rejected. But now if you look at it, you are going to see that we had to use our parallel channel tool. By using our trend line, we connect from here to here. So you see that price has rejected once, twice. Now as price comes back the fourth time, price rejects, and what happened? Price start dropping. This is a high probability entry setup. But now we are going to be adding on. We already know the trend, we know the pattern, right? So we had a very good move last week. Look at this move here. This was as a result of the CPI, okay? And if you look at it very well, this is a demand zone here, but to be honest, I didn't trade this zone here. I didn't trade it because I was looking at many zones above there, but this looked a little bit obvious, right? So price actually, after consolidating, moving down with some move, it came back at this zone here and actually dropped, right? So when price dropped here, this was people enter here was a possibility. Now we are want to be looking for a way forward. Now we are going to further connect our zones here, right? And now as you can see, if you're a trend line trader, you should be looking for these zones, while if you are trading based on the smart money concept, you should be looking for what? Identifying the next demand zone, right? I mean our next supply zone, which is this is our next supply zone here, because at this point in time price broke structure this week powerfully with this strong imbalance candle. This is an imbalance that has been created, so this as a result of the news event. And remember, all odds are showing us that we are in a downtrend, guys. We have already had a switch here from our multiple time frame analysis. We already know that we are in the downtrend, and probably we are going to be looking for sells right till this zone below here, right? So at least we should be selling right down to this zone here. But now we want to be selling only at pullbacks, guys. Like for instance, you cannot jump in and sell here. No, you should always wait for price, because normally price usually move in swings, right? So if you see price creating low, it pulls back, it creates a low, it pulls back, it creates a low, it pulls back. So you don't want to be entering at that impulsive phase. That's one thing you should understand as a trader. If you are a trend follower like me, you don't want to be entering at an impulsive phase. You want to be waiting for price to pull back. So at this point, this is a good zone as if price pull back to here, because now you can see we have multiple rejection, we have liquidity that is building up. Look at this equal highs here, and then price they might want to move price to clear this liquidity, tap to this zone, and then we can get a very good sell opportunity there, guys. Remember, this our weekly analysis that we do, we also help most traders learn how to analyze the market, and from here you can catch a very big move if price pull back like that, right? Why, if you want to enter, or if you want to consider, or if maybe the banks want to manipulate here, though we are already having manipulations, they might want to push back price above, right, to this zone here, and then price comes and then go to the trend line before dropping, right? So there are both possibilities why we are looking for, but now this is also a high probability entry, right? Remember, your role as a trader is not to predict the market. No, you are just doing your analysis, and then you use your risk to reward ratio. If price goes your way, you win more. If it doesn't go, you lose a little. So subsequently you are going to win, and that is how you are going to win in the long run. So you are first of all learn how to analyze and look at the various possibilities that are possible, guys, right? So we break out traders, you can be looking for a breakouts and all of that. So simply that is how US dollar Swiss franc at the main time for me in this the top currency pairs, US dollar Swiss franc is providing a better edge for me because it's more clear, the trend is more clear. Now let's quickly look at gold. Now if you look at gold, so this is gold daily, as you can see right here. Okay, so we see actually there is a build up, right, based on the daily time frame, and if you look at it, you're going to see that price has been rejecting within these lows here. Above there we have another rejection, right? This is the high above there, we have this high above here, and then we have low. Price has been moving within this range, right? If you go further to the weekly, you are going to see something similar. Okay, so basically price, this is what price was doing many months back, and price finally broke out and defined the trend. So at this point in time, what should we look, which trend should we be considering? Probably we should be looking for uptrend, right? Now this is what we have in the daily. So we identify our highs, right, and then we identify our lows. So we identify this is the another high that we have here. So we drop further now to a similar time frame like the H4. Now in the H4 we have our trend defined clearly, right? There are opportunities here that we were supposed to have traded, right? You can see, but now I wanted to ensure that, because at this point in time price created series of lower lows. Look at it, guys. Here we had something like lower lows, right? But what happened? Price actually changed character, and then we have price possibly going to be going high. So we have a trend defined here in the H4. So we have our trend defined to be an uptrend. Okay, so basically what we have to do now here, if you look at it very well, you can see that this is another imbalance that was created based on the news. What happened? Price has created our demand zone here, right? Our demand zone has been created here, and you can see we don't have imbalances here, though we have liquidity below here which price could come to fish, right? And then we have another zone here which is a key demand zone as well. This is a key demand zone. If price comes back to this zone, it will be a good trading opportunity. But now if you look at our immediate trend, remember in trading always look at your immediate possibilities, right? You look at your opportunities that can come later on, and then you look at your immediate opportunities. Here we have a possibility here that we can be looking for long. Normally I had pending orders here. When price was pulling back, this was my pending order, right? Price actually pulled back and did not execute. It didn't get to this zone, got to this imbalance here, and it seems it might just respect the imbalance. Meanwhile, if price happens to come down here and then come to this demand zone, right, based on the H1, this is a demand here on the H1, right, and this is the bigger demand on the H4. So we have possibility of maybe price coming to mitigate this demand zone here, or we should be looking for what? We should be looking for this entry based on the H4 time frame here. Remember, we want to be entering based on, and if you enter based on that big zone, guys, we can write it right up to the zone above there. Basically, remember, we want to be entering a pullback because price moves in swings. Like I said earlier on, you can see from the past data, price usually move from swings, right? Price move from swings. So you want to be entering at the pullback phase, not at the impulsive phase. And in the pullback phase, you can be looking, maybe if you are a trend line trader, right, you can be using your trend line as well. Sometimes trend lines usually work, but it's not in all trending markets that trend line works. That's one thing you have to understand, right? Then now if you identify like this, you can see trend line here, it worked. Actually, this was a rejection once, twice, price came, rejected, came, and now if price comes back here, you can also give a confluence of entry and something like that, right? So let's quickly look at what BTC. Okay, this is BTC here. If you look at the daily, you are going to basically see that here, right, we had price moving within this range here. We did this analysis and we have identified our daily demand, guys. Price has not completely mitigated this daily demand, so we have a possibility that price is going to pull back. We had series of fundamentals that cause price to move down. Bitcoin holders, they are selling the bitcoins and all of that, right? But now, based on the technical analysis, guys, we have price moving and consolidating within this range here. So basically, if you look at it based on the daily, there is a possibility that price can come up to this other block here, right? You can see more information on a bigger time frame here. So if you zoom a little bit, you are going to see this is the other block that we have here. So basically, price could be pulling back to get to this zone. So if price consolidates maybe something and then get to this zone, maybe it can come and mitigate this bigger time frame zone before it finally moves up. So this could be the possible big move if some other fundamentals don't come and disrupt. There's a possibility that price can go back to mitigate this zone, come back and mitigate the bigger zone, and then we have that big move up, right? But now in a smaller time frame, we want to be clear. We want to be looking for clear trends, guys, to trade. We don't want to be trading when market is choppy. We don't really understand if it's going up or coming down. That's why sometimes patience is necessary to wait for price or opportunities, right? So at this point in time, if price completely creates higher highs, right? If it completely goes and then create a higher high, good. We wait for price to come back and then we identify other block. We enter right until price get to this zone here where we'll be looking for sell till this zone below here, right? So basically that's it. Now let's quickly look at Euro US dollar. For Euro US dollar, this was still one of our focus on Euro US dollar. We actually forecasted that there was a possibility that price was going to go up, right? We actually spotted out possibilities after identifying this zone. We actually connected like this. For those people who have been following up videos in this channel, you should know in the past week that we did a couple of analysis and we said price was going to pull down from the other block above there, or price move right up to this other block here. So at this point in time, we have price breaking through. But now the reason why we don't want to be buying here is because price is in the key zone, right? Price is in a key zone here. Is a key zone, and we want to confirm that price breaks through above, because if price doesn't break above that zone there, right, then we can be looking for sales if we get a change of character. We want to wait to see if price breaks above there. If you look at GU actually correlates with Euro US dollar, right? But now GU is having more confirmation because GU has already broken through zones, right? It has already broken through the daily, even the weekly trend line. It has already broken through with strong bullish momentum. So at this point in time, we should look further for GU. Remember, GU is almost doing the same thing as Euro US dollar, right? If you have been trading these two, you should know what exactly I'm saying. But now this one has more information, because if you look at the H4, we have a clear, change, and price is actually breaking through zones, and then we have strong bullish momentum. So at this point in time, what should we do? Remember, we want to be catching pullbacks, right? So here we have that move there, so we want to be waiting for what pullback. So what we have to do is we identify our volume, we identify those zones which is actually our key rejection zones, right? So we identify our demand and supply zones like this, for instance, okay, where we have strong imbalance like this. Sometimes price will come back to fill those imbalances right before going up. Okay, so basically that's what we are going to be looking for. We are going to be looking for pullbacks. Now we can still use our trend lines as well, and then we connect, right? Because subsequently price could come back to respect those zones. We just set our traps everywhere. Now if you look at the H4 here, the H1, you are going to see here, this is the other block that we have here, right? We have this other block here, and then price could also come back to mitigate this other block. So we are going to be putting an eye on this, while we are also using our other confirmations. We want to add to confluence. For those people who understand, we are going to be looking for what? Various confluence, right? So we have equal lows here. Now here, guys, this is an order block that is preferable. Do you know why? Because this second order block here, we have equal lows that have been created here. Guys, remember, these banks, they are looking for liquidity. So at this point in time, what they usually do sometimes is they might drive price right to this zone here, and then they induce many traders to enter. Remember, we have a lot of liquidity that is lying below this zone here. Look at these equal lows, and then later on what happened, they will drive price below this other block here, and this will be a better zone to enter because it's also a confluence with this trend line here, and that can give us very good moves. You get. So basically that's that, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue seeing more of our analysis, join our Telegram group. The link of the Telegram group will be in this video description below and in the pinned comment. Also make sure you subscribe to this channel if this is your first time by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell. See you in the next video.